episode is sponsored by Where to Shop and Dine. Download the app on Google Play Store or Apple App Store today. Connecting colleges and communities. You're watching SceneTV, and I'm Maya McNulty, your host, Schenectady Cable Entertainment News and Events. Welcome back to the studio, my dear friend Paula Fidalgo. It's a really important month. October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month and also breast cancer. And today we're going to talk to Paula about her platform that she recently won at the National Miss Level of 2015. Welcome, Paula.
Thank you, Maya.
Yeah, it's so good to see you. Always a pleasure to see you.
Wearing both colors?
Pink and purple? Pink and purple. Great, great. So, we've talked a lot about different things in the past. Tell me, in the audience, what led you to the National Miss level of your platform for domestic violence?
Well, first I was representing New York, and we have to pick a platform. So I said, you know what? One of the things that affected me as a female and so many other women that are out there that I've interviewed through parentology, domestic violence. And it's something that we are afraid to talk about. So that is why I chose domestic violence to be my platform. And it's not just domestic violence, but breaking the silence of domestic violence. So bring the awareness out there, because people usually think that domestic violence only refers to physical. But there are so many more. There's actually 5 different types of domestic violence. So
yeah, well, list some.
Well, one of them is economic. I mean, the physical, trying to stop you from getting a job, isolating you. So these are some of the issues and types of domestic violence that can happen to you, and you feel completely lost, that nobody's listening to you. You don't even want to talk to anyone because, you don't want to be judged by other people, and you're kind of by yourself.
Yeah, depression and isolation.
Exactly. And those are things that people don't see. Like, if someone beats you up and you have a bruise, you can see that. But the other types of domestic violence, you really can't see that. And those are...
like emotional.
Exactly. And that's severe. It affects a lot of women out there. And I've interviewed so many women. I've reached out, when I decided to do this platform, I reached out to organizations all over the country because it was a national title. And I told them what I was doing. And I have had so many women reach out to me and tell me their stories, and it's heartbreaking to hear these stories. I've interviewed some of them too on camera, and I'm going to be having a video coming out soon with, some of these.
The stories.
The stories. It's heartbreaking.
What do you think that this platform has done for you to sort of set you free, to have some closure in that arena of domestic violence, to have other people tell their story, other women tell their story, men, women, children, all too are affected by domestic violence?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And I think, it's not about me, and I don't want people to think, oh, a victim of domestic violence. No, I always say survivor. You're a survivor of domestic violence, so that you can be out there talking about it, letting people know about it. But the fact that, the platform, the crowd is helping give a voice to the domestic violence, it's a great feeling, because and someone actually asked me this last week, what do you mean, like awareness? What is this? It's not like you're raising money. And I said, it's not always about raising money, It's about getting the word out there so that...
Educating.
Exactly. And they do a great job, tremendous job in Saratoga, the domestic violence agency. They have counselors, they have programs that help women and men, and they're trying to actually prevent it from happening so that it doesn't get to that point. So that's kind of why we need to talk about this. How can we get these people to stop? And it's not just women, it's women and men also.
What are you trying to accomplish with your videos that you're going to be launching about domestic violence?
Getting the word out there, and how can we stop this? There are so many women out there that still can't get out of the situation, and the number one thing is you have fear. You fear, and I want to tell them, don't fear. Don't be afraid to speak out. You're not alone. There's so many organizations, so much support out there that you don't have to feel that you're alone. So don't be afraid to get out of it, because if you're afraid, I have on Parentology, for example, I'm highlighting her this week, Tonya Underhill. She is a mother who, after a Christmas party, her boyfriend, it didn't end up great. He basically dragged her by her hair, and she's in a wheelchair today. She's in a wheelchair today, and she lost basically all the time with her children, soccer games, things that, you know, a normal parent can participate. She hasn't been able to do that. And I asked her and so many other women, you know, why didn't you get out? And that's one of the questions that, unfortunately, we cannot answer.
Yeah. And it's a very dark answer, too.
It is.
You're afraid of being judged. You're afraid of the fear of going out there and starting over by yourself,
right,
because you're so used to that comfortable surrounding, even though it's the most uncomfortable,
right,
you know. Let's back up a little. Tell us a little bit about your start with Parentology and how that led you to many other platforms.
Well, I started Parentology 5 years ago, and with Parentology, it's a half-hour TV show. Now it's strictly online because parents don't have time to watch TV on a daily basis, so we like to go where we can get the content when we want it. Yeah. And that's why I switched strictly online. But I do have, with Parentology, the Parent of the Year. And I wanted to have an event that recognizes parents throughout the Capital Region for the job that they do. And I know some people say, well, parenting is not a job. Well, that's up for debate, because many people do say that parenting is a thankless job. So I wanted to have something that recognizes parents. And I have 17 different categories this year. Parents, anybody can go on parentologywithpaula.com, fill out the nomination. It's free to nominate any parent in the Capital Region. And all they have to do is just go on there, fill out the submission form, and enter the parent. And then the gala will take place April 16th at the Mohawk River Country Club.
Great, great. I'm excited about that. Actually, I'm a recipient of one of your awards, Most Organized Parent Entrepreneur. So
that was 2013, right?
Yeah, it was a few years ago, and I guess I'm still organized.
And the awards are beautiful.
Yeah,
they are beautiful.
They're absolutely stunning.
They are unique. They're beautiful. The businesses in the area are very, very excited because I've extended the sponsorship level to many companies in the area instead of just one. So that's very, very exciting. Great. And I'm looking forward to it because it's also another way of parents getting together, communicating, talking about their different stories and networking.
Yeah. You know, I recently saw you in the SceneTV Autism over in Central Park. Tell us a little bit about that, because that was amazing.
I love that event. Yes, I got... I did that. I called Congressman Paul Tonko. I saw him in the crowd. I go, get up here. And Assemblyman Angelo Santa Barbara. And I got them up there doing the nay-nay. And the pictures are pretty interesting to see. But that event is a great, great event. I love doing it. They do such a tremendous job for the autism Fayette community. And actually, as part of the Parent of the Year, I'm donating 5% of the final proceeds to the Autism Society and also to the Domestic Violence in Saratoga. Because I volunteer a lot, I do a lot with the Autism Society, and because my platform is domestic violence, I want to give back to the community as well. But my goal for this year is to win the Gold Presidential Award for volunteerism. Last year I won the bronze, so I've been out there volunteering, and it's also part of, you know, the job title for the Crowns of Inspiration. I have to make at least 1 to 2 appearances a month. So this month I have already 7. So
that's fantastic. And you know what? It's not like it's a job. You're actually having fun.
I am.
And you're changing lives, and you're enriching your story. You're feeling better about yourself and motivated. Because getting back to domestic violence, sometimes we feel so empty and so lonely. And it's important that you surround yourself with things that are positive. Really can lift your spirit.
And it's very hard, and people sometimes joke with me and say, oh, great, like, how can you find something positive in this? And I have to tell you, you can find something positive in every negative situation. And I think one of the things that people forget is to be thankful. Like, gratitude, like, for every little thing that you have. And you have to think that, you know, somewhere out there, someone's going to have or be in a worse situation than you are. So be thankful and try to look for that positive thing.
Yeah. On the flip side of that, your National Miss competition, you are so grateful and so honored to have that. Really,
Very.
truly blessed. Tell us about the competition level of that, because you talk about domestic violence, and it's like, and that, and then it's like, I want to win that before you, and so.
Well, exactly. It was very intense. It's intense. I mean, it's not, some people said, oh my God, I can't believe you're doing like a pageant beauty thing. It's not about that. Crowns of Inspiration inspires others through community service and positive things that you do in the community. And that's why I said, you know what, I want to do this with the organization. And basically, it's pretty serious. Like, everything that you do has to be approved by them. And the day of the competition, I had to go to Virginia and compete with women throughout the country, from every state. And my platform was the most serious. So when I went in there, there's a part in the competition where you go in a room, it's like a huge conference room, and there are 9 judges, and they ask you all these kinds of questions. Could be from your platform to, what you stand for, about your personal life.
Current events.
Yeah. And the girl from Maine went in before I did, and I could hear them laughing in there, and I thought, oh, great, well, okay, they're not going to be as hard.
She made friends.
But when I went in there, it was all about domestic violence, and it was very serious, and it's one question after the other, and they want to make sure that you're the real thing, that you're not just talking about it and aren't doing anything out there. So when I came out, the other girls from last year, oh my God, how did it go, Paula? And I said, I don't know. It was so serious. So I don't know how they could tell my personality and anything based on those questions, because it's serious. I couldn't be there smiling or laughing because, this is serious stuff. And the day of the competition, I won the overall photogenic award.
Show it up.
So when they called me for that, I went and got that one. And then it was funny because I was on stage and they said, the winner for National Miss 2015, Paula Fidalgo. And I don't know. I think I just was so excited that I blanked, like was in La La Land or something. They had to say my name like 3 times, and then finally I'm like, oh my God!
Paula here.
I go, oh my God, I won! And I started crying.
Of course,
it was very emotional, and
your voice was finally heard.
Exactly, and I think that's, the main thing. One of my aunts goes, oh yeah, that's part of the act, right? I go, there's no acting, no. It's all the hard work and all the voices from all these women that I've talked to actually be recognized and, like you said, to give a voice to. Yeah. It means a lot, and it really, like, I couldn't stop thanking the judges. I'm very thankful for it.
And so now you're driven even more to get the next level of this and raise more awareness. Not necessarily funding, but just awareness and education. How are you going to do this?
Well, I've reached out to all the superintendents in the area and the mayors and chambers of commerce also. So I'm looking to partner with them to go to the schools and talk to, students, women, organizations, and just, again, like, get the word out there, bring awareness to it.
If someone is struggling, what is your recommendation, or what would you say to them?
I would say to them, look for every city, every town has a local organization for domestic violence. They have excellent counselors. Call them. And even if you're not sure, like, if you're just questioning yourself, okay, is this abuse? Is this, something that is wrong?
Well,
call
if it
them.
doesn't feel right.
Right. Call them. Always go with your gut. Call them. It's anonymous. They will, help you. Of course, when you get to that other stage where you need help and you want help, then you have to go to them and they will help you. And again, like, don't be afraid, because they will protect you. Like, if it gets to that point, they will take care of it, and they're there for you. And there's organizations, like I said, like, every city, every town has them.
Good.
And anybody can reach out to me on parentology, and I will help them research.
Great. Paula, anything else you want to add about your platform?
No, that, I want people to just bring awareness to it, and feel free to friend me on Facebook and share the video once it's out, and nominate a parent for the Parent of the Year.
Fantastic. I have to give you a big
Thank
hug
you.
because you're so fabulous. Thanks so much for being
you.
on SceneTV. It's always a pleasure.
Thank you, Maya.
You're welcome.